Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, June 17th, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. What a fantastic weekend all around for everybody but me. Somehow I grabbed a hold of a summer cold late last week and was busy hacking away all weekend long. Anyhow, a quick reminder in case you are not signed up, our daily news recap newsletter is great for news that happens after this drops in the morning and what happens over the weekend. It's local, it's free, it hits your email inbox at 7 p.m. every night, and I'm going to drop a link right here in the show notes for you. Anyhow, we do have a whole lot of news to catch up on, so shall we? James Cash Gregory, who escaped from the Anne Arundel Medical Center on June 13th, was apprehended by the Maryland State Police at a Walmart on Kent Island in Queen Anne's County on Friday. Initially detained at Jennifer Road Detention Center, by court order, Gregory was moved to the hospital for medical treatment and placed under house arrest at the hospital. That essentially relieved the detention center of a lot of their responsibilities as far as security suspect. Shortly after an ankle monitor was installed at the hospital, he fled the hospital. Authorities did receive a tamper alert near Truxton Park in Annapolis, where the bracelet was found in a parked truck. Despite the initial sighting on Monroe Street, Gregory remained at large until his capture. It has not been released exactly how he got across the Bay Bridge, but we have heard from a law enforcement source that he may have taken a bus. But anyhow, he was remanded back into custody and charged with escape. He has a bail review a little bit later this morning at 10:30 a.m., and my guess is that judge may not order a house arrest this time around. The Anne Arundel County Police are investigating a fatal shooting in Severn. Officers responded to a report of gunfire in the 1600 block of Mead Village Circle on the 14th of June and found Keon McKinney, age 34, dead from a gunshot wound. Preliminary investigations suggest that McKinney was targeted with a male suspect shooting him in the rear yard of a townhome before fleeing the scene. There is no ongoing threat to the community, and this is the third homicide of the year for the Anne Arundel County Police Department, with an additional one here at the city of Annapolis. The Anne Arundel County Council has narrowly passed a $2.3 billion fiscal year 2025 budget with a 4-3 vote along party lines. The budget focuses on public safety, education, community well-being, and environmental sustainability. It includes raises for police officers, new firefighter recruits, and hiring bonuses for detention officers. Investments support various programs, including Anne Arundel County Public Library and Anne Arundel Community College. The school's request is fully funded. The budget also funds community and environmental initiatives such as the County Food Bank and the River Days Festival Series. Despite some reallocations and adjustment, the budget does maintain the county's AAA bond rating. And because I am a geek, if you were to divide the budget by the number of residents in the county, it works out to $3,833 per person. And here in the city of Annapolis, it works out to $5,026 per person, a 31% difference on a per capita basis. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration will begin resurfacing the Bayfront Road, Maryland 258 Park and Ride lot in Bristol on June 17th. That's a little bit later on today. The project, expected to finish by the end of the month, includes patching, milling, resurfacing, and new line striping. Nearby lots will be available for use, and work also will involve resurfacing the entry ramps to southbound Maryland 4. Drivers are advised to stay alert and follow the temporary traffic signs. For any real-time traffic conditions and project updates, you want to visit the SHA's website. Providence of Maryland is hosting a free screening of the documentary In a Different Key at Maryland Hall in Annapolis tonight. The event, which promotes autism awareness and inclusivity, will start at 5:30 p.m. with the doors opening at 5 p.m. A panel discussion featuring experts and advocates, including Maryland Department of Disability Secretary Carol Beatty, will follow the screening. The film, which documents the experiences of individuals with autism, marks its first public showing in Maryland. Registration is required, and attendees can sign up on the marylandhall.org website. Now, I just took a peek, and there seem to be a whole bunch of seats available in the main theater, so if you missed the pre-registration, I do expect that they will have room for you at the door. Hopefully you caught our Canines and Crosstreks on Friday with Yoda, who I need to check to see if he is still there. He was a very popular dog as we left Annapolis Subaru. But if you missed it, go back and give that a listen. And on Saturday on the Local Business Spotlight, we spoke with Bruce from AAA CERT, keeping us all safe. So if you missed that, go give that one a listen as well. Remember, this Saturday is Eastport A-Rockin', and if you go to eastportarockin.com and use the code EOAEAR24, you're going to save $5 off of all of your general admission tickets, and I did look at the weather, and it looks spectacular. All right, that's a wrap. Thank you first and foremost, and also a quick thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief: Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. And Covington is here with her Monday Money Report, and of course, George Young from DCMDVA Weather is here with the only locally forecasted weather report you're going to find. All that's coming up for you in just a bit, so hang around.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless, because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, June 17th. It was a nice weekend for the Annapolis region, especially for Father's Day Sunday, but the week ahead will likely prove to be a hot and humid one with temps in the 90s and heat index values in the 90s and 100s. Look for sunny skies each day today through the weekend, with highs in the low to mid 90s today through Thursday, with Friday through Sunday likely bringing highs in the mid to upper 90s, with heat index values in the 98 to 105 degree range. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay hydrated and healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for weather updates each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. Mac Medics is an Apple-authorized service provider. Mac Medics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mac Medics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mac Medics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing it can be confusing. Ann Covington, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it for nearly 20 years. Are you ready? Now, here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Covington of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Last week, the market set several new highs before declining slightly on Friday. The Federal Reserve held interest rates steady, but indicated they believe inflation is slowly coming down. The Fed is projecting one rate cut later this year. While the economy has proved resilient so far, we are beginning to see softening in the labor market. At the same time, Over 1/3 of the S&P 500's returns this year has been from just one stock, which means that if you are in a traditional S&P 500 index fund, your holdings are becoming more concentrated and more subject to individual company risk rather than overall market risk. Continuing our discussion of inheritances, there are two types of tax outside of pre-tax money in a retirement account or annuity. There is estate tax and inheritance tax. Estate tax is applied at both the federal and state level. While the current rules sunset at the end of 2025, you can currently pass over $13.5 million to your heirs and double that for a married couple without any federal estate tax. In Maryland, you can leave $5 million to your heirs or $10 million for a married couple without any state-level estate tax. If you're fortunate enough to be over those limits, Maryland will tax the excess between 8 and 16%. At the federal level, it's between 18 and 40%. If you're at those upper levels, it is worth working with an estate attorney to establish trusts and minimize a potential 56% tax bill. There is also an inheritance tax, which is a state-only tax. There are only 6 states that have inheritance tax, and Maryland is the only state with both inheritance and estate taxes. The Maryland tax applies to any money left to someone outside of your immediate family, nieces or nephews, cousins or friends. 10% of those funds will go to the state. The good news is that the personal representative, or what used to be called the executor of the estate, handles all of the tax issues. Most estate plans call for the estate to pay any taxes due before funds are distributed to heirs. If you're the personal representative, we highly recommend you consult with a qualified estate attorney. If you receive an inheritance outside of retirement accounts, like property or an investment account, you inherit those with a stepped-up basis. Your tax basis or cost basis is what was paid for the item, real estate, stocks, bonds. When something is gifted to you, your basis is the same as the person who originally bought it. If you inherit it, your basis is the value as of the day that person passed away. For example, your grandmother bought Spacely Sprocket stock in 1962 for $2 a share and gave it to you for college graduation. If you sell it today for $202 a share, you will pay taxes on the gain of $200. She also bought Cogswell Cogs stock for $2 a share in 1962, and when she died, it was worth $202 a share. If you inherited the stock and sold it, you would have no taxable gain, as you inherited it with a cost basis of $202 a share. For the most part, an inheritance is not a large tax liability. It's always best to work with qualified professionals to get specific advice for your particular circumstances. Your action item is to talk with your family about estate plans. Talk to your parents and or your children. Wealth is often built or squandered over generations. Working together as a family can leave a lasting legacy. Be sure to check out our website at CovingtonAlsina.com or our Facebook page for more information and to register for upcoming educational events. Covington Alsina is a registered investment advisor. Information presented for educational purposes only, not to make an offer, solicitation with the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investment involve risk unless otherwise stated or not guaranteed. Be sure to first consult a qualified financial advisor and or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Covington with Covington Alsina.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.